The United Kingdom is enduring a summer of action. Workers from different sectors in the country have launched strikes, demanding pay increases to offset soaring food and energy price hikes. Unions are of the opinion that current wages are not keeping pace with that inflation, and the rising cost of living means that workers need a pay rise, especially after inflation hit a 40-year high. The transport sector in particular, especially the railways, which have been on strike since June this year, have further disrupted economic activity across the country. Royal Mail workers are also planning a strike on August the 26th. Meanwhile, workers at the UK's largest shipping container port have already begun an 8-day strike. And UK barristers have also voted in favour of an escalation of strike action this morning. Let's start with the rail sector, though, which has been the focus of strike activity in recent months. On Saturday, tens of thousands of workers went out on strike for 24 hours, affecting Network Rail and a number of train companies across the country. Meanwhile, bus and tube workers have also staged a walkout, further adding to travel misery for thousands of Britons. Meanwhile, postal workers at Britain's Royal Mail have also voted to strike at proposed changes to their terms and conditions. Owing to soaring inflation, more than 115,000 Royal Mail workers are expecting to hold that strike on August the 26th and August the 31st. And following suit, UK dock workers at Britain's biggest container port at Felixstowe have embarked on the first day of an 8-day strike action on Sunday. Around 1,900 workers of Unite at Felixstowe have decided to stage that walkout from the UK's biggest container port in a dispute over pay. And it's not just the industrial sectors that have gone on strikes. Criminal barristers in England and Wales have also voted in favour of an escalation of action, further joining rail staff, teachers and civil servants in backing industrial action at a time when pay awards are lagging behind the 4-decade high rate of inflation. Well, our London correspondent, Alex Isat, is joining us now for more on this. Alex, let's focus first on barristers for the moment. Members of one of those unions there have voted to walk out indefinitely. What are they asking for?
Well, the Criminal Bar Association is asking for a pay rise, as in most other sectors as well. They're asking for a 25% pay rise. Now, that does seem an awful lot, even with inflation, but they say that their pay has gone down 28% since 2006, and it's for mostly legal aid. So that's when people go into jails and they need a lawyer and they get it for free. So that cost usually goes on to the courts and it goes on to the companies themselves. Now, they are saying that currently there is 60,000 backlogged cases throughout the UK. And if their strike goes ahead, that means that some of these courts would sit empty and there will be a real delay in justice. Now, they're suggesting that the government just puts in £1.1 million now and they could get all of those cases sorted. There is also talk about a 15% pay rise coming in from September. Now, a lot of people will say, well, barristers probably make quite a bit of money. But actually, some of the barristers start on around £15,000. So they're looking to get this pay rise. But that 15% is only going to be for cases coming forward and not for that 60,000 cases that are backlogged at the moment.
Well, Alex, it's the latest in a string of protests to be confirmed. Are there more likely to come this autumn? We know, of course, that there could be some teachers that are looking at striking as well. How likely is that?
It's likely we're going to see constant disruption from all sectors. You know, you're right there with the teachers, the NHS are also talking about working out. People are looking for more money as inflation rises. Every time the unions go out and they are picketing, they're showing evidence that some of these companies that they're talking about have millions and millions of pounds in profit and bonuses. You know, in fact, the company that owns the shipping port in Felixstowe put a £61 million profit in the last fiscal year. So people are asking, well, why can't the workers also get a pay rise, especially as in line with inflation? So I do think that everybody is looking to get some more money, but ultimately it all comes down to the costs, price of food, price of fuel is going to keep going up. And if people aren't going to get wages, then we're going to have a real struggle living day to day, and the shelves are going to be empty. And it's likely with all of these disruptions that are coming, and they're going to continue to come, we're going to have to be very mindful about what we eat, how we get it. And I think basically everyone's going to be trying to figure out how to get the most from their money when they just want pay rises to go in line with inflation.